Today I'm going to narrate about the second part of Yaksha Prashna, the 8 questions following on, and all the credits goes to the scriptures. This is about Yudhistra and Yaksha having a dialogue. Yudhistra is the personification of Dharma, and Yaksha is none other than Yama, who is eternal. And the focus goes towards Agni. So Agni is worshipped in our culture as it can burn down everything. If Agni is not there, this world will not function properly. So we say that the fire in the belly is more important than knowledge. The gut feeling, if you're able to light that gut feeling, then you get more powerful. And if that fire is not lit properly, then everything falls apart. And also it's important to understand here, Agni and fire are different. Agni is invoked internally. So if you take the example of Sati, when Shiva got insulted, she internally invoked Agni and she burnt herself from inside. And it was not an external which was burning her, it was an internal fire which burnt her. And also, as per our Vedic tradition, Agni is there from birth to death inside us, and it is completely connected. And we need to have that to have a very healthy and happy living. So the question of Yaksha goes towards the marriage mantras. He asked Yudhisthira, what is your understanding of those mantras were recited when two people come together? There's a beautiful Sanskrit shloka, but I'm going to tell the translated version of it in English. So what he says is, we are friends and our friendship will not be broken, and we are one in regards to understanding. We'll live together and let our minds to be one, and let there be neutral love, and we'll live happily. Let us honor healthy food and be healthy. Our minds are one, and let us perform dharma together. Yudhisthira continues to say that in marriage there should be a deep relationship of 4 pillars: dharma, artha, kama and moksha also. Even when we have to be completely compatible, we need to have all of those 4 pillars in the relationship. But in today's generation, what you see is they only look for a compatibility, or we only look for a compatibility in one aspect, for example, kama, and for the rest of it you look externally somewhere else. And that is why you have broken relationships and it doesn't last for a long time. 5,000 years back, Yudhisthira was actually reciting the interpretation of these mantras, which is written in our Vedas, is to have all of those 4 pillars combined together so you can have a very deep relationship. Then Yaksha asked him the next question: who is that friend that is ordained by higher reality? Yudhisthira responds, it is your wife. There is no other friendship which causes pain and anxiety other than the friendship with your spouse. So he revolves around the relationship with your spouse is more like a deep friend, and that is when your relationship will be successful, and it is ordained by the highest reality. In this case, it is the God. The next questions shift to the next dimension, and Yaksha asks him, what is heavier than Bhumi? Yudhisthira responds, it is the mother. Because mother takes all the burden of a child, and there can be nothing more heavier than the mother. The next question he asks is, what is taller than the sky? He responds, it is the father, as all the knowledge and wisdom to a child is imparted by the father. He then goes on to ask, what is faster than the wind? Yudhisthira responds, it is the mind. Your mind can go faster than anything in this world, and it is even faster than light. It can travel very quickly everywhere. He then goes to ask, what is more in number than grass? Yudhisthira responds, it is thoughts, chinta. We have a lot of thoughts, much more than we can even think of in every minute. Every second there are more thoughts coming out from us, and it is much more than the number of grass what you see around. Yaksha now switches his questions towards the living beings. And the next 4 questions he asks them is, which living being doesn't close its eyes even though sleeping? Yudhistra responds, it is the fish. It's not that the fish doesn't sleep, it sleeps but never closes its eyes. The next one he asks is, even though born, who doesn't move? He responds, it is the egg. As this is born, the moment an egg is there, it is born, it has got a life, but it does not move. He goes on to ask, who doesn't have a heart? He responds, a stone. According to our culture or the Vedas, it says that those who doesn't move their heart should be considered as a stone. That is, if you don't have a feeling for the suffering of other people, we call them, they have a stone instead of a heart. And the next question he asks him is, what moves, what is the only through movement it grows? And Yudhisthira responds, it is the river is what grows by movement. A stagnant water is not good for consuming. You will never consume a stagnant water. You only take a flowing river. And also, if you look at the biggest healers, they always say don't take a bath in a swimming pool because there's so much of energy which is stagnant of everybody else, and you attract that energy when you have a bath in a swimming pool. Whereas in a flowing river, there is energy also is flowing, and you feel fresh and you attract that positive energy in a flowing river. And river only grows when it is moving. So as you can see here in Yaksha Prashna, the answers of Yudhishthira gets more and more clear as it progresses, and it gets very precise. And Yaksha, who is Yama, is getting fascinated by these responses, and he is no longer asking questions. He's becoming a seeker here for Yudhishthira because he wants to now learn from Yudhishthira by asking these deep questions. I hope you're enjoying this episodes. I'll come back with the next 8 questions. It gets even more interesting as we go along the Yaksha Prashna. And thank you for listening. And if you like it, give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel.